everybody. Welcome to XLT Podcast. I'm your host, Damien Cole. I got Simmone Park with me today.
What up?
The one, the only. She's doing an Asian tour right now. She's going all around Asia, and right now she happens to be in Saigon, which is her new favorite city.
It's pretty dope. I do enjoy. I stayed.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be gone already.
Yeah.
Just didn't get on the plane.
For real.
Yeah.
I told him don't let her on. I got pulled at the airport.
Oh yeah? This guy's got hella clout.
Mm-hmm. Oops. So, yeah, let's start. People start keep talking on the phone. I don't know where he's still. Yeah, Mr. Duke didn't let us use the spot again. Good guy. So, let's start with Simmone. So, Simmone, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Toronto, Canada. Born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, look at these smoothies coming in. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Yes.
Looks beautiful.
Damn, that does
Oh
look
my
beautiful.
god. Thank you, come in.
Literally just
Can we
got our
show them what's
smoothie.
going on here? Jesus.
Show them.
Look at this. Look at the stir stick.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A little lemongrass in there, maybe.
Is that what that is? Let's sip.
Avocado.
Mango.
Oh, that's fresh.
Well, I see why they need to put sugar in it.
Yeah.
It's a lot tastier if you put the sugar.
It is.
Okay.
But yeah, so hold on. Let me do a correct introduction. Okay, Simmone, she's a comedian. She's performed at Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. She's performed with many famous comedians all over the world. She's on her Asian tour. I said that already. And now she's got another show. Let's plug your show first for the people that click off. Her next show is...
It's called No You Smile More, and it's for International Women's Day. Coming in hot. Catch these nice nails too. Boo-boo. These are my real nails. Well, not that one that you see, but these are my real ones. So there we go. All female lineup here in Saigon. It's gonna be dope as fuck. Can I say the F word?
Yeah.
Okay. At Soma, Saigon. D2.
Yep. Soma, Saigon on Wednesday, International Women's Day. All women lineups gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yes. So you grew up in...
I grew up in Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you're from Toronto, you don't actually say the second T.
Toronto. Oh,
so if you say Toronto, that's the surefire way that you ain't from there. Yeah. So it's more like Tron and a O.
Toronto.
Yes.
Toronto.
You got it. That's how... Because, Americans are always trying to pretend like they're Canadian when they travel.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you guys the inside scoop.
Nice. Is there an accent? Is there like if you're from another part of Canada, there's like a Toronto accent?
Unfortunately, there is a Toronto slang, but what people don't realize is that it's actually a mix of patois from Jamaica. And so people just look like idiots.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, we made this up. No, that is Jamaican patois, and all white people using it as their vernacular, you look dumb. It's basically like, what's that show that Drake created about the drug dealers in England? Something Boy, Top Boy, Bad Boy. Wow.
Peaky Blinders?
No, it's... So Drake produced it, and it was Old Boy is a different thing. That's my Korean roots.
Oh, shit. We could talk about that.
Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. But it's a show about drug dealers in England. And so they use hey fam, blah, 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 with the youngins and and they call girls baddies.
Yeah.
And it's just they think that they made it up and it's Toronto slang. But we're just appropriating from, and I don't talk like that, but people, this is not gonna go over well. I'm sure people will be like, yo, fuck that bitch, you don't know. Recognize where you're appropriating from is all I'm trying to say.
Right. Okay, so it's not like Quebec and shit with the French.
No, so Quebec's its own whole other thing. They're
Yeah.
always the ones trying to leave Canada.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is that, like Texas or
Yeah,
I don't know.
California too.
And I've actually never been to the Maritimes, all the islands and stuff, but
Okay.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I've driven the whole rest of Canada
Okay.
to British Columbia. And if I go back to Canada and live, I think I would like to live in BC.
Yeah.
Because after living in Hawaii during the pandemic, I need at least mountains
Yeah.
or ocean or some nature beauty.
Yeah.
And Toronto ain't it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, I've been there. BC's nice.
BC's beautiful.
I was a long time ago. But I went to Quebec, BC, Newfoundland.
See, even you've been to Newfoundland.
Mhm. My grandma's French Canadian.
What?
Yeah, she took me there every summer. Up to Maine. We were in Maine.
Oh, I guess they're very close by.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like Maine, you just drive up and it's Quebec.
Really?
Quebec.
Quebec.
Yeah.
Quebec.
So I tried to learn French, but I didn't really get that far. So.
That's okay. You put in the effort, and I think that's all that matters.
Mhm.
Is that he tried.
Yes, I tried. So what was it like growing up Korean in Canada?
It's interesting because I think in the U.S. it's like you conform to being American. And above all, it's like you're proud to be American, 4th of July, hot dogs, stars and stripes, guns, and like you're united in that front where you're American. Canada, we're very proud as well, but we maintain our immigrant roots or like whatever country your parents come from. So you step out the door to go to school and you're Canadian. You're in Canada and like everybody's from all over the world and you're all kind of coming together. The moment you step back in that house, it was hella Korean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The waft of kimchi just smacks you in the face. And I didn't have, usually people have grandparents or cousins or aunties, uncles to like give them that taste of their home country.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of that.
Yeah.
I never met a single one of my blood grandparents.
Huh?
Like
Wow.
to this day, I have
Wow.
not met a single one. So I didn't have that extra little bit of Korean to
Right.
show me what it was like. So it was often very confusing. Canada, I also experienced a lot of white supremacy, a lot of racism.
Yeah.
Like people think Canada is just all like apologies and sunshine and rainbows. I mean, that looking back now, it definitely affected me. I had a huge identity crisis. There was also certain things that happened as a child, very traumatic things that made me hate Korean people and hate Asian people and thus hate myself. So I didn't realize that until just a few years ago, but it explains a lot. So I'm really happy to just finally be myself,
Nice.
whatever that means.
Yeah.
I think I'm finally getting there. I
Yeah.
can just chipping away all of the stuff that is not me, and just what I had to adopt to protect myself as a young woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think like doing comedy helped you to like express yourself more? Because when you're on stage, you're like soul is like going out to everybody, right? You think?
I think comedy is definitely something that has helped me to grow and like heal from the trauma.
Yeah.
I think, earlier on when I started doing comedy, it was kind of like a therapy for me.
Yeah.
Or that I couldn't afford a therapist, so
Yeah.
this was my way of like releasing the trauma and releasing everything that had happened. So yeah, I'm really grateful for this platform. I would love to one day get to a level where you can have influence,
Yeah.
right? So like I see all these comedians who have gotten famous and people listen to what they have to say, whether it's their experience with racism, sexism. Like I think that is so amazing and incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And I hope to get there one day.
Nice.
Yeah.
I hope you do too.
Thanks,
I
homie.
hope you do. Yeah, she's getting there. She's on the way up, yo, for real. So Okay. So where else? So you lived in Toronto, Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're doing the Asian tour. Where else have you lived?
So as a teenager, I used to travel to northern England and Italy. So I would spend time, about 4 years in a row. I would spend multiple months in England and Italy,
Cool.
which was, yeah, very, very wonderful to spend time in Europe as a teenager.
Yeah.
And then I studied in Germany. So I did a year abroad studying at the Technical University of Berlin. So I lived in Germany, and I got to travel to like most of Europe because it's so close and it's so cheap. It's like AirAsia, but European style. It's just Ryanair or EasyJet. And then after I graduated from university, I landed a job where they would send me to a new country every 3, and you'd live there for 3 to 7 months, give or take, and you'd have to figure out how to get in front of the prime minister or president and try to convince them that your media and your idea can give them whatever they want. So we were trying to get investment from the governments usually. So I lived in Jamaica. See, that's why I feel like I can say something about patois, because I lived there and I hear it and I'm like, Toronto be stealing their slang. So Jamaica, Morocco, Portugal, Lebanon, Puerto Rico, and Turkey for that job. And then, yeah, I've traveled and just, and then I got stuck in Hawaii during the pandemic, and then I made sure that I was able to live there, and I spent about 2.5 years in Hawaii.
Damn, I wish I was stuck in Hawaii. I was stuck in Saigon. It wasn't bad, but shit, Hawaii.
I heard you guys were hella locked down.
First, the whole world was locked down.
Yeah.
And we're on Boy Being, no masks. I had my Instagram. I was like, hey, everybody. Everyone's like, what the hell was your mask, dude? What are all these people? I was like, we don't even have COVID. We have 2 cases. And then we got slammed. And we were on, vicious lockdown. The whole world opened up.
And
so the Olympics was going on. Basketball was, at least I could watch the Olympics and basketball on TV. So I was like, okay, it's not too bad. But I got lucky. I live kind of out of the city, and my area we could go outside.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I had a mini stop right here. We didn't even have to leave the complex. We just go shopping. Yeah, we got lucky. Everyone else had like red tape and fucking barbed wire on their block.
Like they weren't allowed to exit the...
They had to have like police giving them bags of food and shit.
What?
Yeah.
That's so scary.
Yeah.
It's like wartime.
It was crazy for some people.
Rations.
It was. They were giving them bags of vegetables.
So you're not allowed to go out and buy food. You couldn't grab.
Depending what neighborhood you lived in. Yeah, yeah. Grab wasn't working. Grab wasn't working for the longest time. Yeah, but luckily I lived in this neighborhood. I could still go jogging.
Wow.
I could go upstairs to the roof and jump rope. And yeah, I got super lucky. It was all District 7 was almost all like still open. So we got super lucky.
D7 was where it was at during COVID times. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. It's interesting because I don't feel like, I was clearly traveling during the pandemic, and once I got back to Hawaii, I remember being locked down for maybe a week. Where we were like not allowed to do anything. Right. But then it was just kind of like people were like, no, we want to be in the ocean. Yeah. That's probably one of the safest places. Yep. We want to be on the mountains. Yep. Again, one of the safest places because it's fresh air. Yep. You're socially distanced. You can see the guy down the mountain.
I know.
But we actually never really stopped performing. I think I performed more during the pandemic.
Really?
Like I was using the top global venues called the Blue Note as my open mic. Yeah. Because I was we were doing booked shows. Yeah. Because they just couldn't fly in international acts.
Yeah. Nice.
So it was a weird, wonderful turn of events that just worked out heavily in my favor, I suppose.
that's when I wrote my first movie that got produced. Was during the pandemic.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was at home, and then I just was writing. It was someone wanted me to write a movie for him, so I was like, shit. And I'm at home for like 24 hours, so I just knocked it out real quick, and I wrote it, and I got to leave my house to go meet them and sell the script to them, and then I couldn't be on set because I was a foreigner, and they're like, you can't be on set, but we bought the script from you, and I was like, cool, and it was kind of like I wrote it, and it was good because it was about the pandemic kind of, and it was like in there, so what I wrote about was really happening, and it was like they wanted to film it right away, and that was
Cool. Can I see it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
send
show
me
it
the
to you
link.
later.
Put the link at the bottom of the.
Yeah, I'll put the link. First interactive movie filmed in Vietnam. Yeah.
Interactive? What do you mean, like a choose your own adventure?
Yep. There's
Seriously?
2 endings. Yeah.
Like the Black Mirror?
Exactly.
Dude, I always wanted to do something like that before it happened.
Yeah.
That's cool. I definitely want to see that. So.
I wrote it, put 2 endings. I had to do all this technical writing to let them know. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Nice. Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. So yeah, all right. Let's not get a COVID check on our shit. Oh shit! I just said the C word. Okay.
What happened?
You know YouTube, if you say like too many
I did not know
C
that.
words, they give you like this. Click here for the CDC guideline or some shit.
See, I thought it was another C word we weren't allowed to say.
No. That's the only one we're not allowed. Say the other one's fine. Corporate. Nah. All right, so you lived in the Middle East. What was that like? You lived in Lebanon.
I lived in Lebanon.
Wow.
Yeah, that was
Beirut?
Beirut.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah.
Beirut is an amazing city. Lebanese people are amazing people. They're super kind, generous. Like everybody's like, just come over for dinner, and we're like, we're just walking down the street. Like we don't know you, but like I don't know. I just feel like because they've had to deal with so much bombing and you know they truly are a people that live as though tomorrow could be their last day. They live life. They love to party. They party hard. Everything's in a bunker.
Yeah.
Like everything's underground. Like it's very just a cool city, and like the stories that you'd hear from the people of like, you know, studying to candlelight in a bunker somewhere, like just crazy stuff that you could not ever imagine. And I think that just makes them such a kind, loving people. So I would take any opportunity to go to Beirut or Lebanon. I just don't think I could live there. You know, there's countries that you're like, oh, I love it, but like, could not. I mean, there's still a lot of things that are not running so smoothly in terms of other things.
Right.
But Lebanese people are amazing. That's actually where I met Russell Peters for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah, he was doing his Middle Eastern tour. This was 8 years from when I would start doing comedy.
Yeah.
So comedy was nowhere on my radar at that point. Nowhere.
Wow.
But I liked it. I like to laugh. I like to watch comedy. So since my 2 teammates, I guess, for this project, there was 3 of us. We were all from Canada. And Russell's from, like, we were all from...
That's right. He's Canadian, huh?
He's not only Canadian, he's from Ontario.
Yeah.
He's from, like, just outside of Toronto.
Right.
So we were like, guys, it's our fiduciary responsibility to go get tickets, see Russell. So just recently when I was in Malaysia, he came back and I got to see him again. I was like, wow. I met you in 2009 in Beirut.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's how it comes full circle, I suppose.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he's cool.
He's a great person. Yeah. Very, very nice. Very humble, you know, for even though he's like reached the pinnacle, the top, and just such a nice guy.
Yep.
Yeah. That's that Canadian. You know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. All the Canadians I know are cool. Let me think. Yeah, all of them.
I like how he thought about it. He's like, actually, you're the only Canadian I know.
No, I know. My buddy Kevin.
Sure,
Canadian,
Kevin.
cool.
Yeah.
Kevin, yeah.
Kevin.
Like my mentor.
Yeah, your mentor, Kevin. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesse.
Yeah.
Jason.
Now you're just putting out J names. No, I'm kidding.
My grandma. Mm-hmm.
Your grandma. The first. You should have said that
I
first.
know.
Grandma.
My grandma. She is the first Canadian I ever met. I don't know if she was like born on the border. I think she was born on like the border of Quebec and Maine. I don't know if they even had I don't even know if they had a border back then.
I was gonna say I don't know.
It's not really a border. You can just like drive.
You can drive?
Yeah.
So they are attached. Maine and Quebec?
I think so. Maybe.
Are you sure?
Maybe you
I feel like we should fact check this.
Yeah.
I think they're like again. I don't. So Maine is like the northeastern tip of the United States of America.
Right.
Quebec is kind of
It's right here. Yeah, look, bam, look at that.
Okay.
It is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
totally connected.
Touche. I stand corrected, my friends. They are totally connected.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Maine was more like almost like an island-esque inlet.
Nobody knows about Maine.
Nobody knows about
Even
Maine.
Canadians. Yeah, so.
I did not know that was bordering Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we drove here. I guess this is.
Wait, it's touching
Nova
New Brunswick?
Scotia. Yeah.
What?
I guess that's New Brunswick then, huh? How come we went to Quebec City?
That's so interesting. It almost looks like Maine should be part of Canada.
It should be.
But let's not go there.
Let's not go how Canada burned down the White House. Did you know that? You didn't know that?
Pardon?
You know the War of 1812?
I've heard of.
Canada invaded the United States? You didn't know that?
No.
And they made it all the way to frickin' the White House and burned it down.
Is that factual?
I think Canada
Did we
is like
fact
one of
check?
the countries that has beaten the United States in a war.
The War of 1812?
Yeah.
I wonder if we're getting taught different things. Do you know how? Because also what I've noticed being in Asia is that we in North America have not been taught anything that happened in Asia. There's crazy, great. Like I just went to the War Remnants Museum here in Vietnam, crying, and then when I was in Phnom Penh in Cambodia. And I lived in Long Beach.
Yeah.
That had the most Cambodians outside of Cambodia. My friends would tell me like, yeah, there used to be 5 siblings and only me and my brother made it.
Yep.
I had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I had no idea because we are not taught about the Khmer Rouge or the Khmer Rouge.
Yep.
And then I go to the killing fields and S-21 crying, bawling, so sad. Like we don't know any of this history.
Yep.
But why would they teach it, I guess? But then on the converse, sometimes there are things that are not taught. Japan.
Yeah.
Like Japan occupied Korea for 35 years. Annexed.
Damn, 35 years.
35. They got us the hardest.
Holy shit.
Right? Because sometimes they'd get like, I think Malaysia, they did maybe like a week. You know, they took Singapore in like a week and then they're like,
Vietnam.
you know what?
They had Vietnam.
Vietnam,
Too. China. They
China.
fucked up China. Holy shit.
All the Asians, right?
Yeah.
They did horrible, horrible things, but Korea, 35 years? And then they still haven't acknowledged. They don't teach that. So Japanese people are just like, doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
You know, where's the hentai? Like, they don't know. They don't know. Yeah, they don't know. They're never taught it.
Yep.
They have no idea what their people are responsible for. And I think that's just so classless. You know, just accept and acknowledge, maybe even apologize so we can all move on from it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's why,
That's why I need to talk shit about them with my comedy.
Yeah. And that's what they say, the winner, it's his story, history, right? Where did I learn that? Someone.
What winner? Who?
Whoever wins, it's his story. History is his story.
Oh.
The winner of whatever war or whatever, and they changed the history books or whatever for his. That's my story, his story. History,
I think it's
history.
whatever man
Yeah.
is the one who's dominating and tells his story becomes history.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's because even like in America during the Civil War, wasn't there differences in who won,
Mm-hmm.
depending on where you were,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's always that north-south.
Yep.
Here in Vietnam, there was a north-south.
Yep.
In Korea, there is still a north-south.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And guess what?
What?
The United States did all that shit where it's like, oh, we're the country that saves people, but nah, they started like hella wars.
I thought it was, so literally went to the Vietnam War Museum. I gotta admit, I did not know anything.
Right.
My fact level was underground. Nothing. I got nothing in the tank. We're certainly not taught that in school in Canada.
Yep. No.
So then I go there. So I go there with a local comedian who is of Vietnamese descent but grew up in America, in California, right?
Yep.
And I was like, dude, you gotta go.
Yep.
This is your story. This is your
Matt
what
never
happened.
went?
He had never gone until I was like, let's go. And
Yeah.
he's like, okay. And I didn't realize like how traumatizing this would be
Yeah,
for somebody,
yeah.
right? But I'm like, dude, I'm here. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. This is your story of your people. Like,
Yeah.
you should know what happened. Then we get there. I was like, oh, I understand why you haven't gone yet. And he's like, so Simmone, I hear you're going to Korea.
Yeah.
You gonna go to the museum? Find out what happened
Yeah.
to your people? I was like, fuck.
You
I
got
have
to.
to now. And I'm like, oh, touche, man.
That was a
Touche.
rough one too, man. I might have. Ooh, shit. I know. I've heard about that too. That
They have
shit
one in
was
Seoul?
So bad. No, the whole war was just so bad, yo.
Yeah.
They were like trying to do experimental bombs and doing all kinds.
In Korea?
and,
or here?
and Vietnam
And here,
both. 'Cause
yeah.
they were like back to back, right?
I don't.
I think so, because United States was just trying to clean up after, I guess, like Japan got kicked out and trying to take all their territories. Because Japan was here fucking shit up too.
Okay.
And then I guess after they dropped the bombs on Japan, Japan had to leave. And United States is like, dude, let me see what's going on there.
What I didn't know is they actually used France
Yeah.
as like an initial puppet or scapegoat. So
yeah.
they were funding
Yeah.
all the artillery, all the
Yeah.
military, all billions. Well, maybe not. No, it was like millions at the time,
Right.
but back then would be
Be
billions.
yeah.
And so they're like just underground. They're like, hey, France,
Yeah.
you should go and do this.
Mm.
And then they're the ones paying for everything. Somehow, and there was a lot of confusing things that I didn't understand, but they convinced the Geneva Agreement to be like, nobody else is allowed to come into Vietnam. No military,
Yeah.
no artillery, no tanks, no nothing, not allowed. We're stopping it here. End of story.
Shady. Damn
And
shady.
then they're still bringing in, and they're still doing. I don't know how they managed to do that, but you know.
I go down rabbit holes on these YouTube. They did it to Philippines too. They kicked out the Spanish. We saved you, and then they just did the exact same thing, like colonized it for 50 years. Yeah, United States is like behind the scenes on a lot of these things.
And it's really whoever is telling his story.
Mm-hmm.
That's what becomes the
Exactly.
history that we learn,
Exactly.
and we just blindly kind of follow it.
There's a statue in downtown San Francisco, like the Philippine War, where we kicked the Spanish out in 1898, but then the next 50 years they're like the colonizers.
America was?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The more you know. You know,
Mhm.
we should just put that with the rainbow.
I know.
I will
The
go
more
on
you,
record
the
saying
more you rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I used to.
I still am very unaware of all the things, all the wars, all the things that have happened,
Mhm.
not only in Asia, like,
Mhm.
I mean, the whole world was at war.
Yep. Yep.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Can't we just have peace?
I know. If people like work together, like instead of fighting all the time, imagine we'd have everything we need. You know.
It's crazy that Vietnam just wanted to be its own independent nation and do its own thing.
Yeah.
And that was like the people in the north. And they
Yeah.
were like, we deserve to have our own country.
Yeah.
And then
why
someone...
we got it? Why does not we? But why the
All kind
United
of.
States? Well,
Not
I
me.
was born in '79, and my parents are hippies, so you know. Yeah, why we gotta bother them? If they want to be communists, let them be communists. Who cares, dude? What the fuck? Leave them alone, man.
Leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that positive note,
Yeah. So let's talk about. All right, let's do something more fun. When's the first time you did comedy?
the first time.
Yeah, the very first.
The very first time was August 2017. Yeah.
You jumped on the stage.
Yeah. It was
open
like
mic.
no.
Oh.
Okay. So the first time I ever did an open mic was actually in 2015.
Okay.
I was on a Tinder date with a comedian,
Yeah.
and I did not know what an open mic was.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that I was heckling
Yeah.
because I didn't know. I swear I did not know what an open mic was,
Yep.
and I didn't know that you're supposed to not have a
Interact.
You know, it's not a
Yeah.
repartee. But
Right.
I remember 4 American military guys went up back to back, and they were all doing material on brothels in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Just back to back, white guy, just Southeast Asia and brothels.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, those women didn't choose that life.
Yeah.
So those are my heckles. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you don't understand their psyche. I don't know, just bullshit. And then my friend was like, or the guy, the Tinder date, he was like, what the fuck are you like? These
Yeah.
are comedians trying their jokes. Like, you're
Yeah.
embarrassing me. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I'm so Canadian.
Yeah.
I wrote my name down
Yeah.
on the list, went on stage to fucking say sorry. Like, sorry
Yeah.
guys, this is my first open mic. And then I was like, well, I still got 4 minutes and 38 seconds after the apology. So then I just started telling him the story about getting violently assaulted at gunpoint, which I'm sure was not that funny.
It was like, God damn.
So that was my first time.
Simmone took this show over. Shit.
Yeah, I sure did.
Nice.
So that was my first time. Left it completely. Did not do another open mic, did not go to an open mic, did not even think about comedy until I went to do some work in Colombia, in Medellin. And to learn Spanish, I watched 2 whole telenovelas from Colombia.
Yeah.
And so I learned I watched 2 whole telenovelas, and those are like 90 episodes at 45 minutes. Like, I watched telenovelas. And then I learned how to sing one salsa song.
Yeah.
Called Yo No Sé Mañana, I Don't Know Tomorrow, by Luis Enrique.
Okay.
So I get to Colombia, and I'm kind of the liaison between the Colombian people who we're working with and the American startup that is for digital nomads, like before digital nomad was even a term.
Right.
So I get there, and I'm speaking to the locals, the Colombians, but I don't realize I'm speaking telenovela Spanish. Yeah, so they'd be talking to me, and I was like,
Amore.
yeah, no, pretty much. And I was like, no, no, porque yo no sé cómo es posible. And they're just like, they're kind of like, because it's Spanish, right? My accent is okay.
Yeah.
But it's just so off.
Yeah.
And so they were like laughing so much.
Yeah.
I had them laughing so much. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't know what I'm doing, but I really like this.
Yeah.
I really like just cracking them all up.
Yeah.
So then I started learning local Medellin specific slang,
Yeah.
colloquial terms, all of that. So then when I could start timing it and drop some of their local slang, I was killing it.
Yeah.
They erupted on the floor.
Yeah.
Like, who is this bitch? And I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I really like that. So then this company sends me to Argentina, to Buenos Aires, and they have one English-speaking stand-up comedy night in all of South America.
Okay.
And I'm immediately like, I want to go, do it, not watch it.
Yeah.
The ball's on this girl, right? Just like, I want to go perform. So we actually didn't have time to make it to the show at all, but I went, checked out New Orleans, and then went back to Toronto and signed up for Second City Level 1.
Nice.
And then, strangely, I was my first performance was supposed to be the graduation, the Second City graduation. They let you do 5 minutes on stage. But then
Now, what is Second City?
Second City, so the original's in Chicago.
Okay.
It's a very like famous. They do improv, they do stand up, all of that. Like
It's
the
like a
greats.
troupe, or like
It's like an establishment that teaches all of the things.
Right.
And so they have one now have one in Toronto, and they have one in Hollywood. But the
Oh,
original, the OG, was in Chicago.
okay.
So yeah, if you look at like the alumni that's come out of Second City, it's
Yeah.
like the greats.
Really?
The greats, yeah. So
I believe it.
yeah, so before doing that graduation show, I kind of just randomly got the opportunity to perform, and it turns out that it was like through people who have also worked with Russell Peters. It's a very long story that like we won't get into, but it's just like some weird things are connecting right now. Yeah.
Cool, yo.
So.
Nice. Second City, another one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. And let me see. So started there, and then you went back to Toronto, did Second City, and then you did. How long were you in San Francisco for?
Not long.
Really?
I think I was just passing through.
Damn.
Because after I did my that random show with like people who have worked with Russell Peters. That was my first time ever performing stand up. Then I did my Second City graduation. Then someone came to the graduation and was like, "Hey, I run this show. I'd like you to be on it."
Wow.
And I wrote a whole new thing that I've never tested, which is not what you do at all.
I know.
So I did those 3 performances, and I was like, you know what? I think Asia's ready for me. I fucking picked up, went to Seoul, and started doing a few shows, but doing a regular open mic.
Right.
And I met somebody, and they were like, they always go and they sort seeds with little instructions on how to plant those seeds. And then this American reverend, white guy, he gets them smuggled in through China to get into North Korea so that they won't all die of starvation.
Wow.
And I was like, I want to do that.
Wow.
So I started helping. We're packaging these little seeds, and actually, so then I invited this guy on Tinder, this Korean guy, and I was like, Tuesday nights I sort seeds for this nonprofit, and then I go do comedy, open mic.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool, can I tag along?
Yeah.
So I was like, absolutely. So we go. Now it's the first time that we've had a native Korean speaker, because honestly, it's mostly white Americans and me who are doing this.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but you guys can figure it out. So this now Korean guy, and sometimes we have the North Koreans that organization has managed to get out of North Korea.
Wow.
Yeah. So now we have North Koreans, we have South Koreans that I've brought, and white Americans that are trying to show they're not assholes. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So we're sorting the seeds, and the guy that I brought, the Tinder date, now he's translating the North Korean stories. I'm bawling, dude. Because even the Americans had never heard firsthand directly translated from a guy who speaks perfect English and perfect Korean.
Oh, shit.
So I'm crying, everyone's crying. We're like, what the hell? Like, we gotta help you more. We gotta help you North Koreans more.
Yeah.
So not even living there. I don't speak Korean. I don't live there. I don't know anybody. And I was like, listen, Tinder dude, let's do a fundraiser. And so we slap chopped a fundraiser. I think we raised enough actually to fund 3 rescues.
Wow.
Get 3 people out of North Korea.
Yeah.
I went into every restaurant, every spa, every store in this like very international strip, like Itaewon, you know, those like where a lot of English teachers and US military folk. And I was like, hey, we're doing this fundraiser for North Korea. I need you to give me some money. I need you to give me a gift certificate. We're going to raffle it. I need you to give me something. Not even speaking Korean. The audacity. And then when they were like, we don't know what, and I was like, oh, you don't care about North Korea? Oh, you don't care about our brothers and sisters that are dying because they don't have, and they were like, all right, just fucking take $50 and get the fuck out. Like literally it was so aggressive and stuff. Yeah. So this guy, because South Koreans are pretty much all about how you look. Yeah. Literally and figuratively. Yeah. So we go, and I'm getting comedians, and I'm getting musicians, and everyone's like donating, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Yeah. We get to the event. This guy shows up in a crisp blue pinstripe suit, looking like $1 million. I'm like, you didn't give me the memo. I'm in a fucking grubby t-shirt and jeans, about to do a lot of comedy. Yeah. He brings a film crew.
Holy shit.
To be like, look at what a great guy I am. Like, look at what we're doing. And I'm like, this motherfucker.
Let me know next time. Right?
But you know what? Like, who cares? Because we still did it. Yeah, we still raised a bunch of money. Yeah. I probably couldn't have done it without him. Yeah. Right? To be honest. So I was like, you need to get your kudos and like, look at what a good guy you are. Great. You are a good guy. Good for you. But I was just like, you could have told me to spruce up my makeup a little bit, you know? And then Korea started to get cold, so I found there was the Bangkok Comedy Fringe Festival. Mm-hmm. So I got into that, went to Thailand, and just I've always been kind of reaching for things since day one that maybe other people would be like, you know what, I haven't been doing it that long, maybe I'm not good enough. But it's like, they can say no. Yeah. They can say no, and I'm in the exact same position. But if you don't ask and put yourself out there, the answer is definitely no.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of been my MO for the past ever since I started doing comedy, really.
Yep. It's like if you don't ask, you don't get, or you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So might as well. That's cool, man. Wow, 3 people. That's like 3 lives.
It was actually we only raised enough for like 2.5. Yeah. I'm like, you can't rescue half a person, right? Yeah. So when I went to Bangkok, I actually didn't eat any food for 3 days. Mm-hmm. I just was on water. Yeah. And I'm like trying to be in solidarity with North Koreans that like don't have food. And so I was trickling in some little donations on Facebook and stuff like that. So we got that extra, like, I don't know, it was like $500 US or something that we needed to get it from 2.5 people to 3 full people. So, yeah.
How do you, I don't even know how do you get them?
There's just like people brokers kind of throughout the whole process. Wow. So starting in North Korea, and again, this is not like, I don't know, I've never physically done it, I don't know, but. And I don't even know if we should be saying it because it might be exposing. Exactly, yeah, let's just. I don't know. I don't know.
All right, that's good. Yeah, we don't want to blow up the.
Yeah, don't blow the cover.
The pipeline. Yeah. We gotta get them out. Yeah. All right, so she's done. Let's see. Charity work. Oh man, still doing it. That's so good. I know. When we do our shows, we try to put some money aside for the charities. Yeah. I
think that's good. It's like doing what we love, but also helping people along the way. Yeah. So in Asia, coming on this tour was very just like a figment in my mind, and it was really because I lost my dad last year, 2021, and I just felt very protected and safe to go on this journey and travel throughout Asia and do these shows, knowing that nobody knows anything about the people of North Korea. They just hear North Korea and they think Kim Jong-un, potential threat, this guy is a loose cannon, which I don't disagree with that, but we forget there's 25 million people that have no rights, they have no freedom. They're struggling. They don't get food. Like, people dying of starvation in 2023. Yeah. That's unacceptable. Yeah. So I honestly, I didn't know what I was doing, but I try to use these shows that I'm doing to kind of bring awareness to what North Korean people are actually living through and how horrible it is. And I think a lot of people are just like, wow, I didn't know a lot of that stuff. And it's interesting because I don't want it to be comedy and then a TED Talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because like people are coming to laugh. So
Yeah.
I'm really trying to find the funny and like really just dark, sad, like, you know, but hopefully that will push me to be even better as an artist once I can hit that sweet spot between not pushing your agenda but getting people to care through laughing at the subject. I mean, at least you're like telling about it, because I remember I watched a movie, I think what's his name, he's like they're talking about Kim Jong-un, and he goes, The Interview.
But he didn't really talk about any of the, it was just like a comedy. I don't think he really scratched the surface of,
because that's not a funny Hollywood movie.
No, it's not.
Nobody wants to be depressed.
Yeah.
That's why I get them at the comedy show. Ha! You didn't sign up for this, but you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
I like sad movie. I mean, I would watch a movie if they had a movie about that. I would watch it. Goddamn, I watched the 20-hour documentary on Vietnam by what's his name? Shit. It's literally a 20-hour documentary or 12-hour.
Good for you, though. I mean, you live here.
Oh God! And I was watching it, and I saw it, and I was like,
how much did you cry?
I cried.
Did you cry?
Yeah, I cried.
There's so much crying in Asia when you understand the history.
I cried, and then mostly because the people that were in the documentary from the 70s, they look exactly like the people that's outside my neighbors, and I was like, damn.
Well, first of all, not all Asians look alike. You're racist.
I know.
I'm kidding. They look exactly the same. I mean,
I'm trying to cry and shit. I literally cried because it does. Like they were interviewing people in the street, and I was like, there's no, like, that could be now.
Right.
Like, if it was happening right now, it's no different than if it happened 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
The people is people, And I met people from that era, and they're really, I can't believe how welcoming they are. Like, because I met older people, and I was like, hi, and they're like, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from California.
I thought you were gonna say Canada.
I
was
say
like,
USA.
this bitch.
I don't say USA. Okay. I'll say like San Francisco or California, and I say, oh, USA, and they're like, okay, welcome to my country. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah, and the older people that I meet in the park, or like, I would be, shoot.
Really?
There's one guy who was like my, it was at the Lotteria. I would always go there for lunch, and he would park my bike all the time. And it would be like, USA? I'm like, yeah, USA. And he's like, yeah, I was in the war. He was like, I was on the USA side.
So he's from the South.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I want to talk to him more, but his English, that's all he knew.
Right.
And that's why I'm really trying to learn Vietnamese.
So some people were for it then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
My old driver, my old motorbike guy, he was like, yeah, he was for the South, and he was just mad because USA left. He's like, why did you guys leave, man? You weren't supposed to leave us.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
the plot thickens.
It's deep.
Multi-layered.
Yeah.
Wow.
So not everybody. Yeah, the people from the South had a whole nother. Some people were with it, some people were against it. I don't know. I can't really say too much because I'm not.
These should not be taken as factual information.
Exactly. But that's just people that I talk to. So.
Interesting. Maybe it's because you're not a bad guy and they can read that, and so like it's a reflection of Damien specifically. Then we love Americans.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh no! Someone brought their dad to my comedy show too. And he was a Vietnam War veteran from Vietnam.
From the north.
No, from.
Like for the independent side. Oh,
I forget
so
what
like
side
with
he was on.
This is kind of important to know which side he was on. Did he like you or not?
He liked me. He didn't really understand my comedy, but I was just Yeah, and a lot of people were like, "Why did America leave? Like y'all just
Really?
bounced on us. Like we were supposed to fight together, and then USA just left."
Oh, they left part way through the war?
Yeah,
And then we're like, sorry,
they were getting their
South.
ass kicked, and they're like, "Well, you know what? You're on your own, South."
Really?
Yeah.
They just abandoned ship?
Yeah, that's why everyone had to leave the South because it was like the North. I think was coming down.
Aren't we in the South?
We were in the South. Yeah.
So, explain. I don't know. This is going to make me look super
Me too.
uninformed. Let's just edit this part
Put it,
out.
no, leave it in. Put it in the comments if I'm.
Please explain
don't know
to
what
us
I'm talking
what.
about.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
happened here?
I know.
I'm very confused on the whole. And I just went
Yeah.
to the museum and spent like 2.5 hours, and it was incredibly heavy and draining. And I'm trying to read everything.
Yep. Yep. I went to the one in Fuquoc Island's pretty fucking intense.
Oh, apparently I need to do the Coochie tunnels.
Coochie tunnels is I did it.
Do I need to?
I
Is
did
that like a necessary?
It's not necessary. But it's you get oh my god. Like I got like a guided tour. I did a TV show where I was going through the Coochie tunnels, and I had like a guided tour, and he was like telling me all this stuff, and he's like, yeah, like the Coochie tunnel is like this tall, but it's really like this big. They just dug it so the tourists could go in.
Are you
It's really like
serious?
this big.
So they used to have to
Yeah,
like,
they're
do
like
that.
crawling through. It's like, and they had like 5 different levels down.
Oh wow.
You're just on like the top level. They're like,
Damn.
and they lived there for years, you know,
Damn.
because they would just bomb the hell out of them. Yeah.
That's crazy.
War, yeah. I shit. Man.
What is it good for?
I know.
What is it good for?
Stop it. That's why I'm fucking.
Money. I think it's because of money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is.
Mm-hmm.
I think people should be worth more than money. Personally, human
I know.
lives, but
Can you believe that? Can you believe this shit, man? Yeah.
who am I to say?
Yeah. Well, you're somebody. You're a child of the stars, you know.
Yeah, aren't we all?
Stardust.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I
Yeah.
just think we need to stop killing each other.
We did not
over-
take drugs or smoke nothing before
Nothing.
this show.
Clean.
Trust me. We're all children. What do they call it? Star child? You know, stardust come down from fucking meteors. I feel like I smoked. Let's see. All right, let's. What do you think about Saigon? What do you think? You've been here for what, a week, week and a half?
I've been here for almost 2 weeks.
Damn,
But I was
okay.
supposed to leave after 1.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've just intentionally missed my flight.
She likes it.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, okay. Here's the thing though. With the money,
Yeah.
I definitely have lost a bunch of hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because I'm like, where did they make you do math to the math,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
their denominations are so high,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm like, I have to convert to the Canadian. What does that mean? But
Yeah.
if you ain't careful, they can slip you some 10,000s when they think
Yeah.
you're getting 100,000s
Easy.
or 200,000s,
Easy,
and it's
yeah.
just like, where'd all my money go?
Yeah.
But I imagine that's what it's like for men when they go to these establishments with the ladies that you can, and then you're like, where'd all my money go?
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like you can attest to that. You got some personal experience.
What, the coffee shops? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm always
yeah,
in the
sure.
coffee shop.
Yeah, drinking coffee.
Because the 500 looks like the 20.
Mm.
So a $20 looks like $1, and the 100 looks like a 10. So whatever you do.
Watch the zeros.
Mm-hmm.
Watch the commas and the zeros.
Mhm.
And one thing that I found super interesting. So when you go and you change your money from a money exchange place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the same thing. I've been gypped in Malaysia, right? You gotta count before,
Yeah.
count after. Make sure you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. You're given, right? But here, you put your hands inside of the place, and then they have those like little like plastic the plastic guards. You stick your hands in. You got to count your money. Once your hands on the money exit the physical premises, you can't go back and be like, yo, I'm supposed to get another 500,000. I'm missing $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, this one place in, I don't know, in the D1 center.
In town market.
You count your money inside. Like, hey, here's all my money.
Right. I'm
missing some money. As long as your hands have not exited to try to pull a fast one, then you can maybe get the money. But I was just like, whoa, these like money scams, you have to be so vigilant to not get scammed.
It happens, but it's like just be smart, but sometimes it happens. Like no matter where you're at.
Yeah, that's true.
Happens in New York, happens in LA. Shit. You buy something in New York, it's not real.
You might get a fake change back, counterfeit. Mm-hmm. I think it's just the same everywhere, just different in the way that it happens.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Whoops, what did I do? Okay. Let's see. So we talked about so you met Dave Chappelle too.
I did meet Dave Chappelle. That was a wonderful... Actually, there is a video surfacing because... So basically, he had recognized me because I would never aggress upon like that type of famous person. I think it's rude. I think it's not classy. Mm-hmm. So I was just about to bounce the fuck out of there and get into my lift, right? And so he kind of was smoking a cigarette, and
Where was this?
This was in LA.
LA, okay.
Yeah. So right by the Comedy Store.
Right.
And so he kind of recognizes me because now he's seen me 2 days in a row. Yeah. And so he was kind of like smoking a cigarette, and he kind of waved at me, and I was like, motherfucker, like, okay, that's your entry point. Right. If he waves at you, that's your entry. So I go in, I'm like, hey, and I was wearing this, so when I went to South Africa, I really love Nelson Mandela. So I bought this like sheet with Nelson Mandela, 2 of his faces, and then I had it made into a shirt. Yeah. And so I'm wearing that shirt, and he was kind of like smoking, and he's like, oh, that's dope. Yeah. Like, I love what you're wearing. Yeah. And instinctively I was like, oh my God, Dave, do you want, like, literally taking the shirt off my back?
Take my shirt off,
Take my
Dave.
shirt. Like, you like the shirt? Have the shirt. Like, right? And he was like, no, fuck it, let me try it on. So he puts it on, and surprisingly, because he's jacked, right? So, like, the arms fit, everything fits, except he just could not button it up. Yeah. And so he was like, you know what? Looks so good on you. You keep it. It's yours. Yeah. And I was like, nobody is ever gonna believe that this happened. Yeah. And I'm not gonna be like, can I make a picture? Like, right? Yeah. You don't do that. So I was like, motherfucker, ain't nobody gonna believe that this shit happened. Right. So then, poof, like literally when I was like, no one's ever gonna believe this happened, paparazzi rolls by. Yeah. So paparazzi, and then Dave kind of notices, and he's like, there's paparazzi, like, to his people, like, handle them kind of thing. Yeah. So just instinctively, me and this super tall guy, who's probably like 6'7", 6'8", we like moved to step to block the paparazzi from catching Dave. Right. And I said something, because I like took off my backpack in like a really weird way, and I was like, Nelson Mandela will save you, or I said something just so ridiculous about like Nelson basically, and so you see him, you see Dave laughing. Yeah. So I'm like, no one's ever gonna believe that any of this happened. Now it's been caught on by a paparazzi that I made Dave Chappelle laugh. Sick. Nice. Yeah. I remember the night before when I got to like formally meet him, and I was just like, you're the greatest. Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, you're the greatest. Nice. And so anytime because like doing this is hard. Yeah. Touring is hard. Going to all these places is hard. Doing it on your own is hard. And sometimes when I'm like, because women especially, probably men too, we can be assholes to ourselves and just like get into a funk, doubt ourselves. And anytime I'm like, hey man, the GOAT, Dave Chappelle, said that you're the greatest. Who the fuck are you
Nice.
to dismiss what Dave Chappelle has to say?
Right?
Hell no.
Hell yeah.
You better pick up, put your big girl pants on, stop being a little bitch.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Nice.
that always keeps me going.
Nice. Shit, Dave. Good shit. Yeah, I saw him once. I didn't get to watch his show because he would just be like, Tuesday I'm at freaking Punchline, or it would just be like, I used to go to Cobb's a lot, and I went there one time and they're like, Chappelle's doing Tuesday tonight at fucking Punchline. I'm like, oh shit. Like, can I get in? My boy was like the head chef. He's like, I don't know. And I went there, it was like completely full. They let me stand on the wall in the back for like 10 minutes. Yeah. So I made like eye contact with Dave.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Then I had to go. But it was cool. It was cool. Yeah, they had to close the curtain. They're like, you gotta go. Like, fuck. Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome. All right. Let's see. Anything else? We could keep going forever. Let's see. Let's talk about. So you did Cobb's Comedy Club.
Mhm.
Yeah. How many shows did you do there?
I think we did like a whole weekend.
Yeah. My
But
favorite.
that place is great.
Yeah,
I loved
yeah.
Cobb's, and that was a super fun time. Very grateful, and actually I'm hoping to go back.
Yeah.
Because I like, there's something interesting, and I don't know if it's because there's a lot of Asians in San Francisco, or I don't really know what it is, but San Francisco is a really fun place to do comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yep. Yeah, I have to go back with you. Because she's going to get me in Cobb's. It's like my dream, performing in Cobb's.
Really?
That'd be crazy. Yeah.
It's a great venue.
I'm already writing stuff for my San Francisco native people. I don't know if there's any left.
Well, you should do stuff about living in Asia.
I know. I got it.
There's a lot of Asians out there.
I got it. I got a lot written for San Francisco too.
Okay.
About the whole. Because it used to be just us, then the .com, and then the techies, and then the yuppies, and all these people moved in and bought up all the properties. So I'm gonna mention that and make everyone feel awkward. And
Okay.
shit. Like, yeah. I know you. You're not from here.
Good luck with that.
I know.
We'll see how that goes.
Hey, I have to.
It's your
I was
fiduciary
born there.
duty.
I was born there, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so we got like an hour done, so let's wrap it up. At the end of, sometimes I do this for people. I've been bringing it back. It's like I call it like, I don't know, the speed round. Speed round. No, what did I call it? Shit, I forgot what I called it.
Like for boxing?
No, it's like 5 questions that at the end, and then you could answer it.
Or pass.
With one word. No, you can't
you
pass.
can't pass.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can answer it and add on to it.
Oh, I see. Or
wait.
just like one word answer.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
What the hell did I call it? God damn. Speed round. It's
You
not
got 5
what I
on
call
it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Ready for the first one?
Sure. Let's go.
Dress or jeans?
Have we met? Jeans.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
I knew that.
ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. And then jeans. Drink or herb?
Well, I don't drink alcohol.
I know.
So that's a clear, definitive. But even if I did, not alcohol.
Yep.
Not alcohol.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
26 months, no alcohol.
That's so good. You know.
Thank you.
I need to do that. Yeah. One day I'll get back on the wagon or off the wagon. What is it?
I don't know. I think you fall off the wagon when you start drinking again.
Okay, I need to get on the wagon.
I think so.
Is that it?
I
Okay.
don't know what that phrase. We should look into the origins of that phrase. I'm sure it has to do with like horse and buggy times and old America,
Right. And
Old
of course,
Town
the
Road.
wagon,
I don't
wagon.
know. This went a really weird direction.
Yeah.
But
So herb, yes. Okay. So she answered herb. All right. Favorite Korean food?
ooh, I like everything, but you know, I would go for just the classic. I love the little side dishes, the panchans.
Yeah.
I like a good kimchi stew.
Okay.
I actually really like the black bean noodles, which is technically a Korean take on Chinese food.
Really?
Yeah, it's called jjajangmyeon.
Is that the cold ones?
No, it's hot.
Okay,
That's naengmyeon, or
Oh, God,
yeah,
that's so good.
it's like the fat udon noodles, but with a black bean sauce,
I love
and
black
it's
beans sauce.
their take on Chinese food.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my jam.
Damn.
Or
Yeah.
a nice kimchi jjigae.
I live in Little Korea, so I'm on it. Yeah. Every time you order like the chicken, right, and you get like 20 little side dishes, you're just like, what?
Yeah.
Can we get a refill? It's all free too. You're just
I
like
love
more of these sliced radishes. Ooh. I
Mwah.
love it. I love the cute.
Love it.
Cute
Great.
radishes. Okay. Next question. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I would want to be able to communicate and understand every language.
Wow.
Like just be able to talk to everybody and be understood by everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Which I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get the little like, you know,
Yeah.
fucking Google whatever, where you just put in the ear, it can translate and stuff. But
Yeah.
I want that on my own in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't think I've ever heard someone say that before. Everyone's like invisible or fly or lift 1,000,000 tons. That's cool. That's cool. Be with the people. All right, cool. All right, last one.
Last one.
What's the coolest Bay slang you know?
Oh, Bay Area slang.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh my mama.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. That's it.
I got nothing in the tank.
That's all you need. That's all you
all I
need.
got.
That's all you need. That's what I wanted. Nice. Shoot, yeah, you go to the Bay, someone's gonna try to convert you to the
Okay.
Bay slang. All right, cool. Thanks for coming on my
Thank
show,
you.
Simmone.
Yay.
Simmone Park, everybody. Let's plug her show. Her most up to one is coming soon. It's a International Women's Day show at Soma on Wednesday, March 8th.
International Women's Day. Also, this photo was taken at Cobb's when I got to headline there,
Yeah,
so that's what's up.
Sick. And then you got another show coming up in
Malaysia.
In
So
Malaysia.
Queens of Asia. Very excited
Yeah.
for that. It's March 17th and 18th, and that's going to be a production.
Wow.
So I don't think I'm going to get away with just regular ass jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do a dance number and shit. It's
Yeah.
about to be some fire.
Is that gonna be like recorded and
Yeah, rehearsals, dance numbers.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole thing. It's not just comedy. It's like
Yeah.
time to step up and be a queen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
You think that's gonna be on like Netflix, Hulu, or one of these carriers?
I have no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, stranger things have
Have you
happened.
been on Netflix before?
Not
No?
yet.
Not yet.
One day.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
man.
to that.
Yeah. Simmone Park, everybody. Thanks for watching XLT Podcast. I'm Damien Cole. Thank you.
Come on.
Come on. How do you say thank you in Korean?
감사합니다.
Oh, of course. I know that. Kamsahamnida. Every time I walk out of the restaurant,
You gotta step it up. You living in
I
Koreatown.
need to learn all these languages. Okay, thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.